Okay, I
Absolutely.
got one more thing. This goes out to producer Dave right here. We got a little MotoGP action going on in Spain this weekend. Okay, so I've got a top five here for you. If anybody's interested out there, you should be. It is exciting stuff. So Bagnaia, Marquez, and Acosta. That's my top three, and then we'll go Vinales and Martin to round out the top five. Dave says I'm crazy on Martin. He's either going to win or crash, but let's watch it and find out together.
Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome to this week's episode of Bets and Buds. We the Buds help you cash your bets. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm about it, Ike.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We're in this summer edition, Memorial Weekend. Memorial Weekend.
Yes,
This is where we're getting into that full summer season of sports right now, baby.
Yep.
So, full summer season of sports. We got, 103 days until the NFL. So, we're going to move on and talk about all this other shit before we get to all that. So, welcome back, brother. How you been, brother?
I'm good, Jason. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, man. Fantastic Thursday afternoon here. We got some playoff basketball, playoff hockey going on. Life can't get much better than this right now.
It's beautiful outside.
Beautiful outside.
Cardinals are playing well.
Cardinals are playing well right now. I mean, we're doing well. We're doing really, really well.
Good.
Yeah, so you know what? So we're going to jump into some of this NBA basketball playoff action. All right,
let's talk some NBA basketball.
Yeah, we're going to cover some of this NBA playoff basketball here. You know, we don't have any invested interest here in St. Louis unless you got some team that you root for. My team, I'm not going to name right now because until a certain player leaves that team, I can't go back to my fan. I've mentioned this before, so, if anybody's been following along knows what I'm talking about. But that's neither here nor there because they're not involved in this conversation right now anyway.
Okay, so you can make a bet on where Brownie's going to, like Brownie's got his own section in the DraftKings fucking sportsbook.
And once again, this is why I won't root for my team until that motherfucker is gone. I'm sorry.
There it is. It's a whole thing. Brownie James has got his whole
and I'm sure the Lakers are the favorites. I'm sure the Lakers.
Oh, they are at plus 180.
Of course.
And then you got the Sixers.
If that happens, that will make sure I will officially stamp that, you know what, I am not going to fuck with these dudes until LeBron is out of there. So, you know what, I was going to mention it, but you know what, here we are.
Fair enough.
I wasn't going to mention it, but here we are. All right. Shout out to True on the track for blessing with those beats. Thank you, Director Dave, for always behind on the ones and twos and making sure we look good for everybody out here.
Yes,
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and to add to the comment section. We always try to make sure we get back to anybody who comments for us here. So we're going to start out with the NBA playoffs. So we got right now first series that start off with a bang. Boston and Indianapolis Pacers.
Double overtime.
Yeah, Indiana Pacers, not Indianapolis. Indiana Pacers. Yeah, well, so they went to overtime. I think it was just single overtime.
Just single?
Yeah, it was a single overtime. But and you know, so I watched this game and I knew because Indiana looked good all game long, like all fucking game long. And then as soon as they got to that overtime, when they gave up that three, there was a couple turnovers late in the game. That Indiana, they had a strong 3-point lead. I mean, really should have been able to seal the deal in the game. Had some turnovers into the game, and once that happened, it was really tough to see the Celtics lose after that point at home in the Ameritrade Garden or TD whatever. I can't even keep up track with that shit.
They change it every
they
2
change
years,
that shit all the time now. But yeah, we'll call it the Garden. We'll call it the Boston Garden.
It's the Garden.
Yeah, the Boston Garden. So you know what? It was a great game played by the Pacers, and the Pacers actually dictated the pace of this game all game long. This exactly was prime for the Pacers to win. They just had a turnover a couple times. And Rick Carlisle, coach, he even said, he's like, this was on me. There was a couple times I should have called a timeout.
Settle your guys down.
Yeah, call a timeout instead. They ran the play, the inbound play. They threw a risky pass, turnover. Next thing you know, Jaylen Brown hits a miracle three.
Boom.
Miracle three to tie the game up. And once that happened and it went to overtime, I knew, Pacers gave that one away. So, I mean, the Pacers are down 1-0 right now. But game two is tonight.
It is tonight.
Boston is historically a bad team in game two, so we'll see what happens on that end. But,
they've lost every game, too.
Yeah, they pretty much lost every game, too. They've been very dominant most of the playoffs, but game twos have been a hard time for them. But they came off a pissy performance and actually pulled out a win, so hopefully that heartbreak doesn't really screw up the Pacers going into this game two tonight.
I mean, they really are just a better team, though. So
they
ultimately should win.
They're a better team, but the Pacers are deep, man, and they play a very good deep style, and their run and gun style is hard to keep up with. Okay. And their defense has got a lot better, especially since they brought up in Siakam. When they brought over Siakam from Toronto, that changed their defense because they were actually on the back end of defensively in the NBA. They were ranked 30 to 32 range in defense. Now they're once Siakam came along, they actually got ranked
middle of the pack.
Yeah, because Siakam, everybody forgets that dude. He won the championship with Toronto.
He was with Toronto.
Yeah, he was with Toronto when they won that championship. So. We'll see what happens in that one. That should be a very interesting game to play here. Then last night we had the Dallas Mavericks Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I watched some of that game. We watched some of that game a little bit last night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good battle back and forth. I mean, it was a grind. The big two for Dallas actually just dominated that game over Minnesota's big two. Anthony Edwards only had 19. Karl Anthony Towns only had 16. You had 33 from what's his name? Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic had 33, and then you had Kyrie Irving had 31. So, I mean, those two guys in that 1-2 combo, they seem to figure it out. Making Mark Cuban look like a genius for bringing Kyrie Irving over, and he was staying pat after they didn't make the playoffs when they brought him over last year. But then those two have figured out how to play together. That's what everybody needs to understand. This isn't fantasy sports here with these guys. These are real people. Mm-hmm. Once they get on the court together, they figured out that chemistry. Kyrie knows as a point guard, he can do whatever he wants to on the court.
And Kyrie had been moving around from team to team.
He had not found that right chemistry, that right flow. Like anybody was going to gel with him. I mean, he tried the thing with Kevin Durant up in Brooklyn, and that didn't work. KD wanted out for whatever various reason. He actually went to Boston for a little while there too after he left Cleveland, and that didn't work out very well. So going forward here, this seems to be a good fit. And Kyrie Irving, he's 32 years old now, so he's matured. He's figured out basically I don't have to necessarily be the superstar off the get-go. Everybody knows I'm a bad man, so I'm going to let Luka do what Luka does, and then I'll make sure I control the game and make sure Luka doesn't have to wear himself out majority of the games. So it's going to be a good series, I think, back and forth. I think I can see both of these series actually going 7 games.
7 games?
Yeah, I can see both of these series actually going 7 games. I mean, I think it's going to be a very good conference finals on both sides.
All right.
Absolutely. Unless, well, I won't say even less. I was going to say unless the Pacers lose tonight, but I won't even say that.
Because you never know anymore.
Well, not even just that. The Pacers actually are awesome at home. I don't think they've lost at home this whole playoff run.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure if they have lost, it may be 1 game. So I'm pretty sure the Pacers have only lost 1 game at best at home right now. So I won't say it's going to be done and over with. So I think both series are going to be good firing.
It would help to win tonight.
Oh, yeah. It definitely would help to win tonight, for sure.
Definitely
would help to win tonight. So that's what we got for the NBA playoffs, brother. So let's go on to the NHL.
So over to hockey now. So the Panthers kicked off their series against the Rangers, and man, the Panthers come out banging. In that first 5 minutes, they were hitting everything that moved on the Rangers. The Rangers actually withstood it for the first period. They only were down 1-0, but I think ultimately, I mean, the Panthers are just going to beat them to death.
Oh, yeah.
They're faster. They're younger.
Deeper.
Bobrovsky's playing excellent right now.
The only thing is the goaltending, I think, maybe.
Bobrovsky's, he's 33 years old. It's almost like he's got that second injection of life.
Absolutely.
With playing around with these young kids. The Panthers' power play is way better than New York's penalty kill. New York's penalty kill is pretty bad. So
fucking Tarasenko.
Tarasenko, he could be a 2-time Cup winner this year. I could see the Panthers raising the Cup this year.
He's tied for the leading power play goals.
I believe it. Because he sets up in that slot and he just lets it go.
And he lets it rip. It's like he used to do for us all the time.
So the other series, you got the Stars versus Edmonton starting tonight, and this is going to be a good one. This is going to be another special team series. Edmonton's power play's rolling right now, like 37.5%.
Oh yeah.
And Dallas's penalty kill is actually not that good right now. It's only going at about 70%. So as long as Edmonton can score on special teams, and Skinner steps up with the goaltending. That's Edmonton.
That's going to be the big thing, because Otter for Dallas is balling.
Yeah, Skinner is definitely the wild card in this series. If he can have a good series, and Edmonton, like I said, can win that special teams battle, I see no reason why Edmonton can't beat the Stars, even though the Stars are favored.
Right.
And Canada needs somebody in the final. I'm not even going to lie. Canada needs somebody in the final. They just might give up on hockey altogether.
Just what I've been watching, though, outside of, I think I see this being Florida-Dallas in the Cup Finals. Me personally. But, when I watch it, going all the way around, I just feel like this is Dallas's year. They just look like that. They have
because they were in the finals in 2020 and lost, and then they were in the conference finals the last 2 years now. I mean, the they've been knocking on the doorstep for a while.
I think they've been prime.
It could be their year.
Yeah.
I would love a Panthers Stars series. That would be a lot of fun.
I think that'd be a great series. I think that really would be. That's the only reason why I don't want to see Edmonton in it. I mean, as much as I love to see McJesus, with more than one play, because he's so exciting to watch, as a team, it's so hard to watch them because they can give up a 7-goal game just instantly that.
And this year so far, it's Edmonton gets out to these big leads, and then they let the play come back to them
quickly.
Because get up 3-4-0, and all of a sudden, it's 4-3. It's like,
Skinner gives up a weak goal.
What are they doing?
Defense has a lapse.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
So, ultimately, though, I do like the Panthers and the Stars to make it there because I've got a little bet coming up later.
Okay, all right, nice. Little Bobby Blue Line bet there. I like that shit. There we go.
So let's move on to the Cardinals now.
All right, well, yeah, let's jump into this Cardinals action because we actually got some shit to talk about with these Cardinals right now.
We do.
Their first
5-1
Their
last
first
week.
series sweep.
Yes.
Sweep. They swept the Orioles.
And the Orioles are not a bad team.
The Orioles are one of the top teams in the AL East. I mean, that was a very good sweep. I mean, they're battling with the Yankees right now. The Yankees are having a great start to their season. But the Orioles are a close second behind them. So that was a big, huge sweep and big comeback. So I say don't look down right now. The Cardinals are 5 games out of first place behind the Brewers. Behind the Brewers, I think a game and a half behind the Cubs. So
only 3 games under 500 now, especially because, I mean, if you go back and look through my notes, it was pretty pitiful there.
Oh, yeah, it was rough. I mean, they were definitely a team searching, but they always say Memorial Day. Once you get to Memorial Day, that's when you kind of get a good idea of what your baseball team looks like.
So they're 8-2 in their last 10. I mean, that's really good.
Oh,
they picked up 4 games in the last 10 because they were 9 out.
It was ugly.
It was looking really bad.
Ugly.
The biggest concern right now with Matt's going on the IL with his problem, who knows what problem it is this time. They need a guy to come in. Liberatore's not it. He's got to go back to the bullpen.
Liberatore's not it. What's the other kid's name that they've been trying to go?
Zach Thompson?
Yeah, Zach Thompson.
He's not it either.
I mean, Zach Thompson brings back old days. I love hearing Brad Thompson on the radio. I love hearing Brad Thompson on the broadcast team. But I hated watching Brad Thompson come to a game on the starting bench. And that's why Zach Thompson is giving me a little bit more gas than what Brad Thompson had. But he's giving me a little bit more the resemblance of that.
So, yeah, they definitely need to pick up or bring up a rookie. I mean, we've seen it before. These rookies come out, they've got no experience, and all of a sudden they're lighting the league. Like Dontrell Willis. I mean, remember when he did his thing for a while?
You know what? Nobody can get a hold of that nasty release he had. It was crazy. Wind up, hit the ball real good. I mean, that was I think a lightning in the bottle. I think with that one there.
I mean, he had a couple of good seasons, but
you're
right. Ultimately,
he fizzled out quick though. Yeah, he fizzled out really quickly.
But I mean, wouldn't you like to have that one-shot wonder?
Oh hell yeah! but speaking of a guy coming out of nowhere though, Michael Ciani. The center fielder they brought up to hit that home run the other day.
I had never heard of this guy.
Michael Ciani, he was not a name that was on anybody Cardinals fan radar unless you went to spring training and watched this kid play over and over again, or you're a deep dive hardcore Cardinals fan. That was not a name that I heard of. But he's played a great center field. Offense is starting to come along. Yeah, he's going to make Dylan Carlson expendable at this point, and which is going to
Dylan Carlson should have been expendable a long time ago.
And what sucks about that is that there were teams that were ready to give a king's ransom for
and they wouldn't.
Like Juan Soto, when they were doing the Juan Soto trade, that was one of the key pieces that they actually wanted was Dylan Carlson,
and they wouldn't come off of him.
The Cardinals will not. They were like, he's our guy, and this dude's he's going to be your 4th outfielder at best coming into this situation. Right. So Michael Ciani, but that's what the Cardinals usually do. They always find those guys like that. They usually come out of nowhere. Let's see if we can sustain it because baseball is long grind,
season.
and somebody can look good for 2 weeks.
Just now starting to heat up here in St. Louis.
Yeah, we're starting to get to the real time action here. But you know what? That's gonna put more butts in the seats of that ball stadium because it's been emptier than what it's been in years past for sure.
So this will be the 3rd week I've said this in a row. But Mason Wynn, he's your best baseball player.
Oh yeah, all the way around.
He is phenomenal. Defense, his hitting. He's had 2 home runs in the last 10 games. He's starting to show a little pop.
Mason Wynn, and that's why. So if we can actually get something out of Jordan Walker, you look at Mason Wynn, and then Alec Burleson is another one who has been contributing really well. All 3 of those kids were drafted in the same draft, so they've got some promise.
And the Newt Barr and Donovan, and even Gorman's had 4 home runs in the last 10
Gorman
games.
has
He's
been
starting
balling.
to heat it up.
So speaking of that, I'm going to actually broke down some of the stat leaders that we have going into this point of the season here. Because again, once you get to Memorial Day, this is when you know what type of team you're looking at this point. So getting to Memorial Day weekend, this is what we have as our stat leaders right now. We got Mason Wynn as a batting average leader at 295.
Okay, I like that.
Nolan Gorman is at a home run leader with 8 home runs.
Yep,
8 home runs, yes. And then we got Brandon Donovan has been our steady Eddie, Mr. Utility, do it all, do whatever right now, mainly in the outfield. He has 23 RBIs leading the team.
Really? He leads the team in RBIs.
23 RBIs leading the team. He bats at the top of the order a lot of times too as well, which shows you how much production the bottom of the order has been giving you actually too on top of that. And then we also got our on base percentage leader is actually Mason Wynn at 348. on base percentage. Our hits leader is Nolan Arenado.
Arenado.
Yeah, Arenado.
He's just no power.
Yeah,
no power.
no power right now, but he's got 50 hits, so he's leading the team in hits right now. So I mean, that's where we're at on that. From a pitching standpoint, we got Sonny Gray.
Yeah,
great signing, Sonny Gray.
Yes,
Great sign. He wanted to be here in St. Louis. He's here. He's actually been our top of the rotation guy. We needed some teams to say he would be a second pitcher, but right now he's our top pitcher on the rotation. He's actually pitching that way. He has 6 wins leading the club.
Yep.
Lance Lynn actually is leading the league, leading the team in our ERA at 3.68. Yeah, no 3.68 ERA for Lance Lynn.
I guess Gray had that blow up.
He had that one blow up, but he has less starts too as well than what Lance Lynn does. So give him 2 more starts, and he'll probably be up in the lead in that era too. But either way, Lance Lynn, who was one of the top guys in home run leaders last year,
I think he still gives up the bomb or two, but he's actually pitched really well.
He's pitched pretty steady. So then our strikeout leader is actually Sonny Gray, who has 3 less starts than every one of our pitchers on the roster. And he's got 59 strikeouts to lead the team. Ryan Helsley has been lights out. I mean, absolutely lights out. He's got 15 saves. I think he's probably top 3 in the league right now at 15 saves. So, I mean, he's doing phenomenal. And then Jojo Romero.
17 holds?
Yes, 17 holds. Yep. Yes, he's got 17 holds, which means he's preserved leads, during that game. So, Cardinals, we got some exciting baseball, hopefully, to go for the rest of the year.
We've got the Cubs coming in this weekend.
Yeah, the Cubs coming in for Memorial Weekend. Oh, there's going to be a lot of Chicago fans in town. It's going to be a fun weekend downtown, absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely. Sure. Probably won't catch my ass down there, but,
Nope, nor I.
Not on Memorial Weekend, no. I'm good. Yeah, so that's where the Cardinals are at right now. But at least, like I said, there's a lot more promising than when we started this season.
It was looking pretty bleak there for a while.
Absolutely. All right, so NFL, I mean, that's the sport that we ride with.
Right.
Anybody who's followed this show along knows the NFL is what we ride with. This is obviously NFL's down season. Was it 103 days? I think 103 days roughly. I think until the start of the NFL season.
Still too long.
Oh, I know, but at least we got some Cardinal baseball to give us a little bit of excitement. Hopefully ride this shit up. So keep it going, boys. Keep it going. But yeah, so what I did pick out from the NFL news, the only thing I can really think of, they're going through covering everything right now because OTAs have started, but nobody cares about the T-shirt workouts and all that shit because we really don't know what's going on. But the top 14 free agents that we actually have, there's top 14 free agents that are still out there, very veterans that can actually be difference makers on teams coming up. So the number one that I had was Xavier Howard that was with the Dolphins last year, cornerback with the Dolphins.
Really? He's still sitting out there?
Yes, he's still sitting out there. He's been battling some injuries the last couple of years here and there, but yes, he's been sitting out there for a while. The next one was another Dolphins player, Connor Williams, center, former Cowboy, former Cowboy, center with Connor Williams. He's still out there, but I think he actually went down and suffered an injury towards the end of the season too as well. So then the next guy that I had probably who I would think was one of our biggest impactful guys to probably come into another team and really be a difference maker for a championship team, especially be Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos, the safety from the Broncos. Okay. Justin Simmons was a stud. Then we also got Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore was with the Cowboys last year.
Okay, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was with the Cowboys last year, so he's still out there on the fringe. He's a little long in the tooth, but he's still solid pro.
You can bring him in.
Yeah, he's still solid pro, and I mean, for any team that's got a good, strong defense, you see what can happen with there. Then we had Steven Nelson, another cornerback again from the Texans last year, is who he played with. The Texans were another team that they had a surprising season last year. Steven Nelson had a good season.
Okay, so these guys, I mean, a lot of these guys are, I could tell you the truth, I don't know their names, Jason.
Yeah, well, you know.
And there are a lot of defensive guys right now.
So. A lot of defensive guys, but we're getting to a couple guys you're probably going to know here. There's going to be a lot of cornerbacks, a lot of defensive players, pretty much, for the most part. Next guy I had was Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, yeah, we know him. He still hasn't signed anywhere.
Yeah, he hasn't signed anywhere yet.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he was with the Titans last year. He's going to probably be a late season, right before training camp pickup.
Or, an injury.
Injury or, training camp pickup right beforehand. Somebody needs a camp body. Yeah, then we had Dalton Risner. He was a guard with the Vikings last year. A lot of people rejecting him to go back with the Vikings. And I know, again, these are, like I said, I'm a football nerd.
Yeah, I mean, these are some deep dives.
These are the top 14 free agents that are left and available. I'm a football nerd, so that's what I'm going to go with. And I can tell you where half of these guys played their college football at too as well. So, all right, and then Adoree Jackson out of USC. Hey, he was with the Giants last year, playing under what's his name?
Dable.
Yeah, under Dable, but under
who was it?
No, I don't know, Martindale. Wink
Martindale. Wink Martindale.
See, we didn't call him Wink when he was there at Western, when I was there at Western. But Wink Martindale, under his system there. So Adoree Jackson with the Giants last year, he's another free agent. Then Calais Campbell.
Okay.
The Jolly Green.
I do know that name.
The Jolly Green elderly giant. Like, how's this dude still playing? So
what will this be? Like his 17th season?
It's got to be 17 or 18 seasons,
yeah,
man. I think the only other person I think that's been in the league longer than him that's not a kicker is Mercedes Lewis.
Okay.
I think that's the only
He's
one.
still kicking around
Yeah,
somewhere.
he's still kicking around, but he was with the Falcons last year. Then we got Hunter Renfrow, who kind of has had to fall off there. He was with the Raiders.
He had a bad couple of seasons.
But was that a byproduct of not liking Josh McDaniels, not liking the Josh McDaniels scheme, no quarterback? So we'll see.
Because, he had a 100-catch season just 3 years ago.
No, they expected him to be the next slot monster. You know, that next little Welker, that little white guy receiver, Julian Edelman that can be explosive.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where he ends up.
Yeah, see where he ends up. Then we had Emmanuel Ogbah, another edge rusher. Yeah, he was with the Dolphins. So again, another Dolphins guy that they let go. This was another name that you will know for sure. Michael Thomas from the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Thomas from the Saints.
He's just been so hurt. I think he's played like 17 games out of the last 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, he's missed a lot of time after he got paid. But, you know, a lot of people actually linking him to the Cowboys. Really? So they're linking. I would not be upset with him to be a third receiver on that team. No, you know, a second or third guy on the team because, you know, you slide Brandon Cooks in the slot, and you put him on the outside, let them, you know, be the slant guy in the red zone, all that. So, especially because that was the biggest thing that hurt the Cowboys last year is not being able to score in the red zone. So
they couldn't score.
You get Zeke back. You get if you get a pickup of Michael Thomas, all of a sudden you got some big threats, and once you get in the red zone, I like what will happen. Could happen there. The last two guys we had Donovan Smith from the Chiefs, who, in my opinion, I was never a big Donovan Smith guy. I don't know how he got through that whole Super Bowl with no holes, everything else, but that's neither here nor there. But he was with the Chiefs last year.
Was that left tackle?
Yes, the left tackle who was the most penalized tackle in the league the year prior. And all of a sudden, he's able to make it through the whole playoff run with no flags. You know, Chiefs didn't bring him back, but that's neither here nor there. So then we had another guy who has bounced around a lot. And I haven't been able to figure out why. I don't know if it's maybe because it's not fit-wise, longevity-wise. I think probably because I think he can't play the run very well. But Unique Ngakoue, he was with the Raiders, he was with the Colts, he was with the Bears last year.
Okay.
But he was actually his first big breakout run was with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So he's supposed to be a run clogger, and he just doesn't.
He's a pass rusher.
Oh.
But I think he's a little light in the ass, so I think he really can't defend the run very well. So I think that's kind of why he's moved around quite a bit with some teams would say because he has a high price tag on him because when he was with the Jaguars, he actually put a lot of pressure on, got that high price tag up contract wise, and after that. I think you know, yeah. Well, because when you look at the whole tape, like with us as casual fans that maybe just look at the highlights, but when you look at the whole tape and break it down, you're like, all right, yeah, he had a sack here, he had a pressure there, but they ran up his ass.
Right, but generally he's getting
like 8 plays in a row.
He's got a highlight tape.
Yeah, exactly. So they moved him around. So that's the NFL news that I got, brother. I don't know if you saw any tidbits out there.
I did not. I was looking on Twitter before we started, and there's just really nothing going on.
Yeah, I mean it's a dead season. It really is. That's why we're riding those playoff games, sports right now.
Most beat writers are taking vacations. Like everybody's doing their vacation stuff.
This is the time to take your time and relaxation.
Yeah,
before
there's not much going on. So I do have a little thing right here. Were you surprised at all about Usyk beating Fury?
The Gypsy King went down.
He did go down.
Gypsy King went down.
Split decision.
Which means it's probably going to be a rematch.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably going to be a rematch. But when I watch a lot of the highlights of that fight, because I didn't watch the whole fight because it was at a weird time for us with it being in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the day.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I was surprised, but not overly shocked. Because, I mean, he looked... Tyson Fury looked really piss poor against Ngannou, who had no boxing experience whatsoever. I thought he might have himself a little bit more ready to fight this next time around with Usyk, but Usyk's a dog, man. I mean, he's an animal. I mean, this dude they had to convince him actually to get back in the ring because he was ready to stay on the front lines fighting for the Ukraine and shit.
He's fighting for his country. Like you could definitely tell in his speech that it meant something.
It meant a lot to him for him to go through and take Fury down. So the Gypsy King went down.
He did go down. First loss in his career, like first actual loss because he had a draw before.
Yeah.
So. They're definitely going to run this one back. Probably 6-8 months from now.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at probably about a 6 to 8 month fight card out again. We'll see what happens. I mean, but we'll see how Fury comes back in, because he got beat up pretty well. I mean, and psychologically, when you get beat up like how he did in that fight,
right. Like it easily could have been a knockout in the ninth round.
Oh yeah,
it easily could have been a call.
I was surprised at a split decision. Honestly, when I really watched, I mean, I didn't watch every minute of every round in that fight. But from what I saw, I was surprised it went to split decision.
Fury had the first few rounds pretty much outright.
Yeah,
he was just bigger. Like, I think Usyk took about 4 or 5 rounds to figure out, hey, what's going on, and then he unloaded on him.
Well, I think too. I mean, like how Marvin Hagler said back in the day, it's hard getting up to run at 4 a.m. out of satin sheets.
Yeah.
And Fury's been living good these last few years, man. So I think conditioning wise, I think he was kind of struggling conditioning wise as far as from that end.
So talking about boxing, I do have a bet. I put together a little 5-game parlay or a 5-team parlay here. Because if you take the Panthers to make it and the Stars to make it to the finals, or it's a little, God damn it, what was it?
Oh, so you got a little.
Oh, and NBA, I got NHL and NBA all together. That's what it was. So if you take the Panthers, Stars, Dallas, and the Celtics, and then take Wilder over Zhang in 2 weeks. It's a boxing with Wilder over Zhang in 2 weeks. It's a plus 881.
Oh, nice. That's a little progressive parlay. I like that action.
So you got it, NHL, NBA, and boxing all mixed into one.
Progressive parlay action. I like that. That's a good dive right there, Bobby.
So what do you think about the WNBA, Jason? I mean, you have a girl that plays basketball.
Yes, I have a daughter that plays basketball. I keep telling her this is the most exciting time in your life to ever be a female basketball player. The shit's on the rise. I mean, it really is. I mean, they're making record-breaking attendance records here. I mean, it's exciting.
It is a crazy time right now. The Caitlin Clark effect is definitely going on.
It's definitely real. As somebody who always being a sports junkie, I always kind of watch women's basketball. Sometimes people don't like saying the female thing, but I like women's basketball. And I used to watch like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie. Mm-hmm. I mean, like there was something, obviously Cheryl Miller back in the day. That was a little bit before my time, but like there was a lot of Candace Parker, a lot of Tamika Holtzclaw. I mean, there was a lot of like solid female basketball players.
Taurasi?
Yeah, Diana Taurasi. I mean, Sue Bird. I mean, you got tons of those UConn girls.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, when you really look at women's basketball right now, I like that they're getting that spotlight, because the only thing those girls can't do is dunk. That is the only thing that you're missing. But outside of that, they play a very skilled basketball game, extremely skilled basketball game. So it's exciting, man. I mean, it's an exciting time. Actually, we're going to a Fever game on July 6th. So I'm looking forward to doing that. We're 11 rows off the court. I'm taking my girl down there so that she can see somebody who looks like her, because I mean, being a girl dad, that's what you got to do, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to let them see something that looks like them, because if it doesn't translate to look like something you can do. I mean, I used to hear NBA players talk about how, I think it was what's his name, Jamal Mashburn. He even said, he's like, man, I wasn't the biggest Michael Jordan fan because I couldn't relate to anything he could do on the court. He's like, I was a fan of other guys out there in the court. Yeah, he's like, I couldn't do any of the things that Michael did. So, like, I didn't look at Michael like that. He had other guys he was more of a fan of. So that's the same thing when you're a girl dad. I mean, you got to let them see something they can relate to and something they can aim for and shoot for. So I think the WNBA is in a great stance right now. I think right now, like, I don't know what the dollar amount was, but I think Caitlin Clark actually signed a big deal with Wilson Basketballs, which was only the second time since Michael Jordan that somebody's gotten a huge.
That is a big deal.
That's a huge basketball deal. They're taking chartered flights now. Yep. The money's just only going to keep rising now, to where all these people. So all you women out there to say, I can't believe she only made $78,000 for her season right now. Go to the games.
Yeah.
Buy the merchandise. They're getting shoes now. So if you don't like the way they're getting paid, support them over those Real Housewives. Support them over the Kardashians. And I'm telling you, the girls will get paid because they deserve it.
Okay.
You're watching a unified sport now, as opposed to women tearing each other down. Let's do that and enjoy that and celebrate these women kicking ass, because I think it's in a great position right now.
It is. Best it's ever been in.
Absolutely.
Okay, I got one more thing. This goes out to producer Dave right here. We got a little MotoGP action going on in Spain this weekend. Okay, so I've got a top 5 here for you. If anybody's interested out there, you should be. It is exciting stuff. So Bagnaia, Marquez, and Acosta. That's my top 3, and then we'll go Vinales and Martin to round out the top 5. Dave says I'm crazy on Martin. He's either going to win or crash, but Let's watch it and find out together.
I guess that's why we love it. That's a fun time, baby. I guess
you
that's why
can't
Dave loves
bet
it.
on it anywhere. The sports books just don't have it. So I guess if you went to Vegas, you probably could bet on it. But
BetMGM.
BetMGM. Okay, so
That's the only book that bets. That's the only.
There's some other ones that are in Canada. And,
okay. Well, if you got the BetMGM app and make that MotoGP. This is their second race in Spain. I mean, I guess they don't have a lot of tracks. I don't know.
one in the U.S.
Really? Okay, and they already raced there. That was week 1.
And we got the Indy 500 here this week. I don't know any of those people.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
anything going on in there.
Yeah, I don't know any of those people. All I know is I think the Penske team? I think they're all sitting in the top pole positions. That's the only thing I know.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't even heard
I think
that.
that's the only thing I know is all the Penske teams are sitting in the top pole positions. Outside of that, I'm just, I can try to get in every sport I possibly can.
It's been a while since I've watched any real
But
races.
Dave's a sports bike rider, so of course,
yeah.
I mean, he do rides a freaking Honda. I mean, so yeah, of course he's gonna love that shit. I mean, and I'm sure you started out as a dirt bike rider, didn't you, Dave? Yep. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All I know is that the only thing I know about that shit is that remember the Nintendo Excite bike?
Oh yeah, the Excite fucking. You'd overheat your engine and have to pull off on the side.
But once they start getting in a little bit more betting, maybe I'll look into that a little farther. And then I guess the last thing we can talk about that didn't happen before we signed off last week was a travesty of Scotty Scheffler getting arrested.
Oh, yeah, getting arrested.
I almost forgot about that before we signed off. Scotty Scheffler getting arrested before starting out the PGA Championship.
Have you seen that grainy video yet?
Yeah, oh yes, I saw the video out to where, according to the police report and that grainy video, don't line up.
Yeah, they really don't.
They don't line up.
I thought that cop got run over and dragged down the street or something.
Yeah, that was what he said in his police report. That did not look like run over or drug down the street, like even kind of. And how fast they claimed he was driving, the whole nine. I mean, the dude was maybe going like 12 miles an hour.
I think he went like 10 feet total before he stopped.
It was terrible.
Crazy.
It was terrible. So, I mean, again, not saying that all cops are bad.
So his lawyer did come out today. I guess they were talking about a settlement. And the lawyer said, no, we're taking this to litigation.
Oh, yeah. He's going to take that to litigation because, I mean, you dirty up the news. The dude has a mug shot before the PGA Championship. And even think about the money he probably cost him. Because, I mean, and somehow, some way, Scotty still shot 500.
He did.
I mean, the money that he potentially lost him going into that.
Just the mental strain.
The mental strain, the stress. The dude, they got him in an orange jumpsuit. Like, they had those T-shirts on the course. By the time he got to the course, they had Scotty Scheffler in an orange prison jumpsuit.
Oh, that's brutal.
I mean, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
That is brutal. He should sue the
Oh,
shit
yeah.
out
So, I
of him.
mean, you got to go to that. He's got the money to be able to take it and fight him. And that's what they usually bank on if they don't have the money to fight the city. But he absolutely does. And shout out to the Louisville Police Department for you guys that were on the right end of that thing, but you got one guy that fucked up everybody, so hopefully he's on desk duty for the rest of his life after that. So.
Oh, and one more thing before we sign off. Craig Berube going to Toronto.
Oh, yeah, we do. He got him going to Maple Leafs. Yeah.
So, I mean, if Toronto's going to get it done, it's got to be with Craig. Like, it could never
It's
happen.
going to be there, or he's going to piss a bunch of people off.
At least he's Canadian.
Yeah, it's either they're going to go on a run or he's going to piss a bunch of people off, one of the two. All right.
That's all I got, brother.
All right. Well, good job on this fucking dry-ass fucking time of the year.
Right.
Before we get back to what we really love.
Yeah,
there's
just not a whole lot of betting outside of that.
Yeah, not really yet, but you know what? I'll take what we can get. Thanks. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, add to the comments section. Shout out to Director Dave and True on the Track for blessing us with these beats. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Peace.